Now we're going to talk about how to express the definite past tense in Turkish without using a verb. What we're going to do is we're going to take a version of the definite past auxiliary and attach it directly to a noun, an adjective, a postposition, a question word. It can attach to all kinds of different things that are not verbs. And then, if appropriate, we'll choose one of our definite past tense personal suffixes to add as well. Let's see how this works. It's actually quite simple. As our example, we'll look at the Turkish word yazar, meaning writer. In Turkish, if you want to say I am a writer in the present, you'll simply add the appropriate personal suffix directly to the word yazar, writer. Yazarım. I am a writer. But what if you want to say I was a writer? Okay, we'll start again with the Turkish word yazar, writer. Optional personal pronoun, ben, I. Yazar, well, we'll choose the appropriate form of the definite past auxiliary suffix according to the rules of four-way vowel harmony. So for yazar, it'll be yazar, d. Yazar, d. And it's I was a writer, so we'll choose the appropriate form of the definite past tense personal suffix. So ben yazardım. Ben yazardım. I was a writer. Let's see how this works moving forward. Sen, you singular or you informal. Sen yazar. D yazardın. Sen yazardın. You were a writer. O, he, she, or it. Yazar. D, okay. O yazardı. And we stop because there's no personal suffix to add for us to add in the third person singular. So he, she, or it was a writer. Moving on to the plural. Biz, we, optional pronoun. Yazar. D. Yazardık or biz yazardık. We were writers. Siz, you formal or you plural. Yazar. D. All right, well, we see that the second person plural definite past tense personal suffix has four different forms according to the rule that follow the rules of four-way vowel harmony. So yazardınız. Excuse me, yazardınız. Finally, for they, onlar, we have a few options, all of which are synonymous. So we can simply say onlar yazardı. They were writers. We can say onlar yazardılar, plural suffix. Or we can actually also say onlar yazarlardı. All three are correct. I'm going to leave yazardılar up on the board. Now, we noticed that yazar ends in a consonant, okay, voiced consonant. But what if we want to add the definite past tense auxiliary suffix to a noun, an adjective, a postposition, some non-verbal predicate that ends in a vowel? What we're going to do is we're going to insert this buffer ye before the definite past tense auxiliary suffix. So, for example, let's look at the adjective neşeli, cheerful. Neşeli. In Turkish, if you want to say I was cheerful, you're going to insert that buffer ye, neşeli, then definite past auxiliary according to the rules of four-way vowel harmony. So neşeliydi. We want to say I was cheerful, so now we have our appropriate definite past tense personal suffix neşeliydim. Neşeliydim. I was cheerful. And this goes on following this pattern. So neşeli din, you singular, informal, were cheerful. O neşeliydi, no additional personal suffix, third person singular. Biz, optional, neşeliydik. Biz neşeliydik. Siz neşeliydiniz. Remember that this suffix follows the rules of four-way vowel harmony also. Neşeliydiniz. And finally, onlar neşeliydi, optional ler, or neşelilerdi. There is one other option that we have. If the noun, adjective, if the word that we want to add the definite past auxiliary suffix to ends in what's called a voiceless consonant. So one of these in Turkish, che, fe, he, ke, pe, se, she, or te. If the word ends in one of those, then we're going to attach, and we want to put it in the definite past tense, we're going to attach a form of the definite past auxiliary that begins with te, which is, as you can see, also one of these voiceless consonants. As an example, let's look at the adjective küçük, meaning little or small. Let's say we want to say, I was small. Start with the word küçük, which you'll notice ends in a ke, which is one of our voiceless consonants. And we'll simply choose a form of the definite past auxiliary suffix according to the rules of four-way vowel harmony, but we'll choose one of the ones that begins with a te. So, tu. Küçük tu. We want to say I was little, so küçüktüm. Ben küçüktüm. I was little. For sen, küçüktün. Küçüktün. You were little. O küçüktü, which could mean he was little, she was little, it was little. Biz küçüktük. Siz küçüktünüz. Notice our second person plural suffix is following the rules of four-way vowel harmony also. Onlar küçük, and we have our various options. It can simply be onlar küçüktü. That's all right. It can be onlar küçüktüler. Notice that, as always, the plural suffix lar or ler is actually following the rules of two-way vowel harmony. Küçüktüler de, or küçüklerdi. All of those options are correct. We should remember that the definite past auxiliary can be attached to lexical items, to words other than nouns or adjectives. For example, you may see the definite past auxiliary attached to question words like who or what or when. You may also see them attached to the words var and yok, which you can learn more about in another video. But just so you can see what the definite past tense looks like, for var follows the same rule as any other word which is having the definite past tense applied to it. So vardı. Var means there is or there are. Vardı means there was or there were. With yok, yok ends in one of these voiceless consonants. So we're going to say yoktu. There was not or there were not. One other note regarding the definite past tense auxiliary suffix, you can attach it on top of a possessive ending. So for example, The Turkish word for teacher is öğretmen. So öğretmendin, you were a teacher, excuse me, you were a teacher. But if you want to say you were my teacher, you can attach the possessive suffix öğretmenim, my teacher, öğretmenim din. You, informal, were my teacher.